Hi there, I'm Mike. Welcome to my channel, where today I'm actually going to be giving you YouTube pro tips. Pro tip number 1. Before you talk at your camera for a half hour about your top 10 Star Wars The Black Series figures, make sure your camera's recording. So as I said before, hi there, I'm Mike, and this is my top 10 list of the Star Wars Black Series figures from 2016. Last year's 2015 list was so popular, I decided it'd be dumb not to do a new one. And I have to say, this is a really hard list to make. As you can see from this picture, I got over 40 figures this last year from Star Wars The Black Series. I am currently fully caught up with every figure available, except for the convention exclusive figures, which I just can't do. I can't do it. They released the figures in the normal cards for a normal amount of money. Sure, they're missing some accessories, but I can't. I'm sorry. I'm going to exclude any figure released before 2016. I just got too many figures, and even though some of them are really hard to find in 2015, like Captain Phasma, I did pick them up in 2016. I just can't put them on the list because I have too many, and I had to figure out a way to narrow it down, and that was the first thing I did. I also want to talk about some of the stinkers and some of the runners-up for the top 10 list that just didn't quite make it really quickly before moving into the actual list. As far as stinkers go, there weren't actually that many bad figures in my opinion this year, but there were two that really stood out. Both 1 and 2 are the Skywalker twins. Luke and Leia, you are awful, which is sad because both the outfits these characters are wearing are iconic. Luke in his farm boy outfit, Leia in her whole outfit from the first movie, she only got the one. It's just a shame that Hasbro decided to go soft goods in places where I feel like it would have been better had they not gone soft goods. I.e., Leia's entire dress. Come on guys, she just looks ridiculous. It's pointless to pose her because you can't tell what she's doing under all that weirdly hanging soft goods. Also, both their faces aren't great. Leia's, sadly, more so than Luke's. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. I'm sorry Hasbro never really got your likeness down. Moving on to the runners-up. Now I know some of these figures might be in people's personal top 10s of the year. They were very close to being in mine, but something about them just didn't quite put them in that list. Whether they were too boring, didn't come with enough accessories, or I couldn't really figure out a way to pose them so they looked cool. My criteria was just kind of all over the place, just like Hasbro's criteria for how they make Star Wars The Black Series figures. This is just my own personal opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. Let me know in the comments. And if you do agree with it, that's fine too. Let me know in the comments. Just comment, I guess, if you want to. I pretty much respond to all of them. Almost all of them. So who's in my actual top 10 list? Let's get going and find out. Number 10 is Captain Cassian Andor from Rogue One. This figure comes from exclusive Target 3-pack, and I really like his outfit. Now, obviously, whatever your thoughts on Rogue One are, I'm sure we can all agree that Cassian Andor was not the star of the movie. He was a little on the boring side, but that's not why I put him on here. Most of these figures are on the list because I like the way they look, and this one in particular, I love the smuggler, sort of military look he has, sort of roguish kind of. I really like the coat. I like the detailing in the pants. I like that his gun becomes a regular blaster or goes into that sniper configuration. I really like it. The face sculpt isn't really bad. This outfit is a Star Wars outfit. I can look at that and be like, yeah, that guy looks like he came from Star Wars. That's just my personal opinion. I really like him. Also, he came with a Death Trooper and a Gen Erso. So, 3 figures in the top 10 right away, number 10. But he's really here for this guy. Oh, the Death Trooper is pretty cool. And the Gen Erso is, she's the same figure that came in the regular carded. I'm not going to get too much into that now. If you want to see me do a full review on this, or any of the figures in my top 10 or not, let me know in the comments. I plan on doing a lot more. At least I want to. Number 9 on the list is the Entertainment Earth exclusive 4-pack of the Phase 2 Clone Trooper. I couldn't choose just one, and I didn't want these guys taking up 4 spots. Obviously, they actually don't deserve to take up 4 spots. They're basically just the exact same figure with different paint colors on them, but wow, do they have some good paint applications. Each one of them is dirtied and weathered pretty uniquely. Their paint job is unique and really detailed. They have great posability, and they really round out my my episode 3 scene I've got with Anakin and Obi-Wan. I really like the way these guys look. If I had to choose just one, because you're looking at this and saying, hey Mike, you can't put 4 figures in your top 10 in one spot, you have to choose one, I'd probably say the blue one from the 501st Legion. because I like blue and I like the 501st Legion. So if you really pin me down, I'd say this guy. But again, they're all the same figure. Just chill out and go with it. Come on. Number 8 might be a surprise to some people. This is Ello Asty from Episode 7, The Force Awakens. There's not much I don't like about this guy, but he also just isn't interesting enough to really sneak past number 7 on the list. He's an alien. He has an X-Wing fighter pilot outfit on. He just looks cool. And his name is an homage to the Beastie Boys' Hello Nasty album. The Arabesh on his helmet even says Licensed to Ill. It's really hard not to like this figure if you like interesting looking characters with interesting looking outfits and, 90s white guy rap hip hop songs. Number 8 is Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels. Now, if you don't watch Star Wars Rebels, I highly recommend it. Sabine is an interesting character from season 1 on. She is a Mandalorian. She's a rebel. She likes to paint things. She has a cool looking outfit. And she's a girl. And really, up until now, my Black Series figure collection has been somewhat of a sausage fest. So thank you, Sabine, for kind of diversifying the group a little bit. But really, she's a great figure. She's got lots of great posability. She looks good with her helmet on and off. She has a lot of great paint applications, which is great because her character has a lot of great paint applications when she does painting. That was bad, but it's true. So if you can find her, she's just now coming out. I highly recommend picking her up. Number 6 on my top 10 list is Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars Rebels as well, but she debuted in the Clone Wars cartoon. Now at first, admittedly, I wasn't a huge fan of her character, but she did grow on me all the way up into the ending of season 2 of Star Wars Rebels. I really like her character. I really like her design. I really like this line where they take hyper stylized characters from the Clone Wars or Rebels and give them more of a realistic kind of look to them. They do a really good job, and it gives them a little wiggle room where they don't have to say this looks like Harrison Ford, this looks like Carrie Fisher, or this doesn't look like Carrie Fisher. This looks like Ahsoka Tano because that's what Ahsoka Tano looks like in the cartoon, but a little like not a cartoon. So it works out really well for them. She comes with 2 lightsabers. She's got a lot of great articulation, some soft goods mixed with some molded plastic. She does have a problem standing up, or else she would have been probably higher on my list, as well as the soft goods do kind of hinder her posability in her leg area. So she's good, but she's hindered a little bit from being really higher than number 6 on my list. But I do enjoy seeing her on my shelf, and I want them to continue to do things like this in the Black Series line. Moving on to number 5, we have Darth Revan. And before you turn this off because you're outraged that Darth Revan is only number 5 on my list, I'm not even sorry. I've got my reasons. He's good, don't get me wrong. I'm not too attached to the character like a lot of people are because I never really got into Knights of the Old Republic. I know the story, I know about it, but I didn't have an Xbox when it came out, and I didn't really care. I did buy it on Steam, but I haven't had the desire to sit down and play a 15-year-old Xbox game on my computer. That being said, Darth Revan does look really good. He has a soft goods skirt, he has a soft goods cloak, and both of them are sort of ratty and tattered on purpose. And I do feel like that makes the character look really nice. He's got a lot of great molding and detail in his chest and waist with his belt there, with the rubber. He's got 2 great looking lightsabers. My one problem is this heavy rubber cowl or whatever we've got going on. Hood, I guess, is the word for that. Without spoiling any other entries in this line, I feel like in 2016 Hasbro really nailed the hood look on some figures where they made it look natural. I don't understand why they didn't do that with this, where they could have, because it does sort of hinder the posability of his face, which is a weird thing to say, but it's true. You could get it going a little bit left or a little bit right, but there's not much else you could do with it other than that. That, combined with my lack of really attachment to the character, brings him down to number 5, but he is a good figure and good enough for my top 5, so there. Number 4 is K2SO. Now, K2SO, you either love him or you hate him, I think. He definitely had a lot of great quips and one-liners from the movie Rogue One, and I loved him for that. I felt like he was funny without ever being distracting to the movie, and he brought a lot of lightheartedness to some scenes that would not have been lighthearted and maybe a little more of a downer. Some people don't like that. Some people like to be edgelords. That's fine too. You have your opinion, and I have the right opinion. That being said, K2SO as a figure looks fantastic. He has great proportions. He has a great design. He has great articulation. He stands up really well, and he just looks good no matter how you have him standing there. Just whether he's just standing or you put him in an action pose, he looks fantastic no matter which way you slice him. I really like his design a whole lot. He has a lot of great paint applications. He has a weathered look around some of the contours of his body that make it look like he's well loved, and I really appreciate it. Good job, Hasbro, on this guy. I do wish he came with a couple of accessories, maybe a gun, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there without spoiling anything. He's definitely my number 4 entry in this year's top 10. And here I go cheating once again, and my number 3 spot is basically all of the troopers from Rogue One. I could not pick them. They're all fantastic, and if I put them all in here like I want to, they would take up 4 spots on a 10-spot list, and that's just not fair to the other characters that also deserve to be there. I love them so much. I love the design. When I saw the trailer for Rogue One, my first thought wasn't, wow, that's a good looking movie. It was, wow, I want to buy the toys of all those troopers I just saw. That was literally my first thought. I was thinking, that would be a cool toy. That would be a cool toy. These are cool toys. So cool. They're all collectively my number 3 spot. Now, if you want to hold me down again, which please stop doing that. I don't really like it. But if you're going to pin me down and make me choose just one, after much consideration, I would probably choose the Hover Tank Pilot, which is a Toys R Us exclusive, but I would do that very begrudgingly because I love them all pretty equally. So stop it. Let me have this. This is mine. This is my list. Let me have this, because if I make this my number 3, then these guys aren't on my top 10 list at all, and they deserve to be. You see the problem I've got? You see the problem this creates? So number 2 might be quite possibly the best Alec Guinness action figure ever produced. This is the old Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I absolutely love him. Hasbro nailed this figure. Now, back when I did my top 10 wish list a couple months ago, old Obi-Wan was on the list all day through like 5 different drafts, and somewhere along the way when I was recording the video at 3 a.m. he fell off the list somehow. I don't know how, I don't know why, but he was on the list at some point. So this is one of my top wish list figures, even though he didn't make it on the video. So I'm very pleased to have this in my hand. The likeness looks just like Alec Guinness, but the real star is actually the cloak. This cloak, being soft goods, hangs off him super well. Even the hood, whether you put it back or on his head, Hasbro really figured out how to make a hood look like a hood and not too much fabric on a figure, which they've had in the past. So this figure is actually why I can't believe they did the hard plastic on Revan, because it came out in the same wave, along with Leia, who, despite her many faults, also has a decent looking hood on her soft good cloak. I don't understand why Hasbro did soft goods on these and not on Darth Revan. I feel like if they'd done soft good on Darth Revan, he might have been higher on the list. So I know I'm also fickle, just like Hasbro. Sometimes I like it when they do soft goods, sometimes I don't. And it's sort of a catch-22. I feel like when Hasbro decides to do it, it doesn't look good. When they do decide to do it, it doesn't look good. But this figure really nails it. I'm glad they did soft goods on the cloak. I'm glad they did the plastic on his skirt. I feel like this is exactly what a Black Series figure should be in design, in terms of material use, and in terms of lightness. This is exactly what a classic Black Series figure should look like. And that leaves number 1, Kanan Jarrus. Now, Kanan Jarrus is up here, number 1, because he has a fantastic character design. He actually does look like Kyle Katarn with the shirt, the armor plating. This is what Kyle Katarn looked like in those classic Dark Forces video games that are no longer canon. But that being aside, Kanan Jarrus was the reason I started watching Rebels and kept watching Rebels. In that first episode, when they're fighting the stormtroopers and he pulls out his lightsaber towards the end, I got chills watching it. I also just love his character arc throughout the first season and on into the second and third. I love what they're doing with the character. He's great. I also love his comic book run. It's definitely my favorite of the newer Marvel comic book series. That being said, he also benefits from not being a real looking character. They took the hyper stylized character design from Star Wars Rebels and they translated it into as realistic as they could really get it. And since they're not really trying to get him to look like a specific person, I feel like they really nailed a good likeness for a figure that could definitely be Kanan Jarrus. He comes with the right amount of accessories that he should have. He has a great amount of articulation, and he looks fantastic standing on my shelf. I can't wait to get him along with the rest of the Rebels characters. I'm definitely looking forward to Hera coming out, and I love this show so much, and this is my number 1 spot because of it. So that's it. That's my top 10 figure list for 2016. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with my assessment? Do you disagree? What was your top 10? Let me know, please, in the comments. I'd honestly love to know. I read them all. I respond to them all. I definitely want to do more Star Wars: The Black Series reviews. Let me know if you have any specific requests for characters. I'll try to get them out first. I also got a couple of nice Transformers figures for Christmas. Let me know if you want to see me do any of these figures. I have them and I like them all. I'll do them if you want. I'll probably do them anyway, but if you comment, I might do them faster. I also just did a sprue kit build on my channel and I really enjoyed doing it, and I want to know if you did too. And if you liked it enough, I want to build one of these two Gundams on the channel. Let me know if you have a preference and if it's something you want to see in time lapse or do real time like I did the sprue kit. If I did that, it'd probably be a couple different episodes of that. But let me know. I want to do them, but I want to kind of see what you guys want to see too. I mean, I'm not the only one watching these, probably. So with that, that's all I have for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope everyone had a great holiday season and is having a great new year so far. I know I am. Thanks for watching. Bye.